Okay, welcome to the Nagual Zone. I am Anaam. Today, the 3 parts to personal power. The 3 parts to personal power. Most people have not even encountered the term personal power, let alone 3 parts, right? So let's very briefly clarify what personal power means to a warrior. Personal power does not mean the ability to control. It is not a form of black magic that you go around controlling people and circumstances and how everything should be. And you go around controlling how everything should be, and you're kissing your muscles and saying, yeah, look at me, I've got so much personal power because look, I can control everything. Warriors think that is foolish and amateurish. That is like childish behavior. There's nothing mature about that. But everyone's on this power trip, including you. And it takes a lot of hunting of one's own self-importance to really step out of that habit, right? Whether the machine mind gives us that habit or emphasizes that habit, it's up for anyone, it's irrelevant. It is there in everyone. Especially true where the Western civilization, or like Neo-Rome as I call it, it is a modern version of Rome with the slaves and the arena and the gladiators, the works. It's exactly Rome in this day and age. And first-class citizens are the white Westerners. I can assure you of this. I've been in the Middle East. I was born in India. I can tell you that anywhere where there are white people are not there, including China, white people are next to God. They're next to God. They get first dibs at everything. Many times blatantly. The pay grade ensures that. You can see it. So, what is personal power? The ability to control doesn't mean anything. For the warrior, personal power is the ability to choose. The ability to choose a useful perspective. I'll break it down to, obviously, that's a definition. The applications are endless and varied, and one has to gain a lifetime of experience in what does that actually mean. It's easy to say, right? Anyone can go on YouTube like I'm doing and say this stuff. But it takes a lifetime to really go on a journey with this. What does it mean? What does it mean? The ability to choose perspectives that are useful for me. That is a video in itself. And I believe I have made a video on personal power before. You can check it out on the channel. But for now, let's stick to the 3 parts of personal power. The first part is associated with awareness. Awareness. The second one is intent. And the third one is stalking. And they get increasingly difficult to master, one to the next to the next. Believe it or not, awareness is the easy bit. To activate intent takes a lot more energy. A lot more energy. And then to stalk, to functionalize. What is stalking? Stalking is functionalized intent. It is making your intent work for you in your actual day-to-day life. Right? Functionalized intent. What's the use of having an intention if it's, you know what I mean? If it's not doing anything, it's just sitting in your mind, and you had that intention for many years. Well, what's the point? Give it up. Just enjoy what you're doing instead of having this stupid intention that you're never going to do anything about anyway. Right? So functional intent is when a warrior is busy realizing, realizing their intent. It will take the shape of stalking. and I will explain stalking a little bit later. And then there's intent, which I did a video on before as well. Check that one out. It's a recent one. And then there's awareness. These three, when mastered and when they get activated in you, according to any experience that comes your way in life, these three will result in personal power. Personal power is the harvest. Personal power is the symptom. Personal power is the prize, is what you get out. Personal power is not an attribute. It's not an attribute. It's the result of these three things working well together. The more awareness you have, the easier it is for you to activate intent. The more you activate intent, the easier it is for you to stalk your life, in your life and your life. That is how it works. Awareness, intent, stalking. You can't stalk first. If you got no awareness, what are you going to stalk? Most people, most people don't know what these three words mean. Okay, they haven't even heard of them. That's fine. It's not like, oh, a gospel or something. These are useful terms that can be used to open up avenues of our energy. That's all it is, right? But most people have no idea what awareness is, no idea what intent is, and no idea what stalking is, especially. And for those who are familiar with these terms, they read books. Books and books and fucking books and books and books. These people have read books. You read books. That's all these words mean to you. Books. Books by PhDs and bloody nonsensical people. Right? Grandfather of Don Juan or grandchild of Don Juan or this son, lost son of Don Juan or lost father of Don Juan. Fucking nonsensical stuff. Just books, books, books. And I'm not saying these books, there's anything wrong with the books. Read all you like, read all you like. But watch what happens. All your intentions, they never get actualized, do they? Most of them don't. You wouldn't even be here if you knew what intent was and how to functionalize it. You wouldn't be here. I don't go around attending masterclasses everywhere, do I? I don't go around watching videos of other warriors. I don't need to. It works for me already. It's like watching how to drive a car videos when you had your license, car license. You passed the driver's test 20 years ago and you're still watching how to drive a car, but that makes no sense. The only reason could be that this person still hasn't learned how to drive, have they? You see, it's that kind of logic. So nothing wrong in watching videos, nothing wrong in reading lots of books, but make no mistake, you're learning nothing. You're gathering information, perhaps you're expanding your awareness, and then suddenly you get excited. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make, what was the 4 agreements? Yes, oh yes, the 4 agreements really work. Yes, oh, it reads amazing. Oh my God, this guy must be so switched on. The 4 agreements, only a spiritual person could think of these things. It's common sense. It's fucking common sense. There's nothing special about these 4 agreements or 50 agreements or 10 commandments or 30 this or that. Come on, give yourself a bit more credit than this. Why get so hypnotized by words? Why? What has, it was in the newspaper, it must be true. What? But how is that? Where's the logic in that? I read it in a book. It must be true. What? But where's the logic in that? But it doesn't make any sense. Have you verified it? Oh, I don't need to. I read it in a book. Yeah, but you're powerless, aren't you? Nothing in your life really works, if you're very honest. If all these books really worked for you and gained you power to affect change in your life, So believing in words doesn't give you power. It doesn't increase your magic. It really doesn't. You have to roll up your sleeves. Each sentence you read in that book that you're reading, each sentence must be verified for a period of 2 years, 3 years. Relentlessly apply it. Each sentence, each wisdom that you get in that book. That's how the 4 agreements should be used. But I can guarantee you, how many millions of copies has the 4 agreements? So it's a fantastic book. It's a classic, right? Or The Power of Now, or You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. All these things, or Don Juan's grandchild has written something, or whoever's written, all amazing books, fantastic knowledge. But what's the point? What's the point? These books are selling millions of copies. I don't see millions of warriors running around anywhere. I don't see even one. And believe me, I go through a lot of phases. A lot of phases. And I can fortunate enough to extend my seeing reach beyond just faces that come through me. I don't see warriors anywhere. I see clipboard warriors, keyboard warriors, mouse warriors, book warriors. Basically, keyboard warriors are the new breed of book warriors. They used to be called bookworms. Bookworms. You know, come on. They're not bookworms. They're very well read. They're just not any more fucked up than anyone else because of their book reading. That's all. That's the only problem. So that's the way to do it. 3 parts of personal power: awareness. Which means if everything is an experience, right? In your life, you will have many experiences. You're meant to have many experiences, myriads of experiences, many uncomfortable ones, many comfortable ones, right? The uncomfortable ones must be recognized as such without glossing them over. And there are always signs. You must learn to spot the signs. That requires you practicing absolute, uncompromising, brutal self-honesty. No faffing about when it comes to honesty within yourself. You let one thing go within you that is dishonest. One thing, you let it go, it's going to multiply. And you're going to have to rationalize it more and more. Now you have 100 rationalizations to cover that one dishonest thing you told yourself, or glossed over, or ignored, or under the carpet. And now, 10 years later, you're fat, you look like a freak, and you pay thousands of your currency to shrinks. Another useless branch of the average man's consensus insanity. Shrinks. What are they called? Psycho the rapists. My friend calls them psycho the rapists. You know, I think there's a wordplay there that I can't make out. Right. Psychotherapists, that's right. So he calls them psycho the rapists. They may help to bandage, but in very few cases does actual help happen. In very few cases, right? So, brutal, you have to learn, and it's just, you have to acquire the skill, because you were never taught this. What you were taught was to produce the right reaction in order to get the right prize from early on. Give me the right behavior, you'll get the prize. In many cases, the prize is affection. What a twisted way to deal with a living entity. Affection for sale. So you were made into a prostitute. By the time you were 1 year old, 2 years old, you were a prostitute. You didn't even know it. Your parents didn't know it. Your teachers, which are a universally idiotic branch of humanity, with no conscience whatsoever, these people. Because it takes very little conscience to see what you're part of. Very little conscience. I have not met teachers who have any conscience. They have a lot of ignorance and brainwashing, and no conscience. Because if you had a little bit of conscience of what's happening with the kids, it would, it can have a major impact on the psyche. Brainwashed, totally brainwashed. But then everyone is brainwashed, right? No one gets away. The parasite has given the entire species its mind, is one of the truest statements. Anyway, so coming back to the first part of personal power. Whenever it happens, whatever it is, you will know it must be recognized as a problem. Now you can argue semantics. Oh my God, we should never call it a problem because problems are blah, 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 NLP. Okay, fine. Call it whatever you like. I prefer to call them obstructions. Obstructions. Obstructions to what? To my journey towards more personal power, personal elevation, and retaining, maintaining, and elevating my status as a free warrior. Those are my only concerns right now, till I await the magnificence of my own death. Okay? So you must recognize, don't be a fool and gloss it over. Nah, no, he just slapped me once. And I'm talking about you women now. I used to run self-defense classes for women who were being beaten up at home. I know all about this mentality. I know all about it. You know what it starts with? Oh, he was drunk and he just slapped me. Oh, it's okay. He's usually he's a very kind, generous man, He just he loses it when he's drunk. Sometimes he drinks. No, it's not sometimes. It's every weekend, isn't it? And it's not this one time he's hit you, has he? Yeah. Don't gloss it over. By the time he's hit you, it's not a problem, it's not an obstruction, it's an elephant trampling over you. This is where warriors are confounded. It confounds me, the madness, the lack of self-value. It astounds me. It really does. But we all do it. We all gloss things over. No, you got to catch it. It's an obstruction. You better deal with it straight away. You never had migraines and now you're starting having migraines? Yeah. Big problem. Big problem. What do you think is going to happen? Yeah, it's going to magically go away one day if you do Tai Chi or watch these videos or read, the 4 agreements or whatever. It's going to go away, is it? No, it's not going to go away. What kind of childish thinking is that? You got to stand up and take responsibility and say, oh, that's a big problem, man. I do not want migraines in my life. No way, Jose. Not going to happen. So first thing to personal power, step to personal power, part to personal power is recognize the obstruction, which means engage your awareness. Honor your awareness. Your awareness is telling you something. Don't just say, shut up. I've got my life to live. I've got my job to do. I've got my rent to pay. I've got my children to look after. Blah, 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 blah. Just weak nonsense. Weak. For like, I'm reminded of battery hens when I come across this mentality. Poor battery hens who have never experienced anything outside the tiny cage they were born in and they will die in well before their lifespan. Right? So don't do this. Recognize the obstruction. The smallest ones are the most dangerous. I promise you this. I promise you this. This will take time. Again, be patient, be kind with yourself. Don't just go, right, I've got 1,001 problems in my life. Everyone has to be dealt with. No, we're not talking about that. Take one obstruction, First, I call it obstruction, you call it whatever you like, problem or whatever, right? Recognizing the obstruction means you have engaged your awareness. Secondly, the warrior engages their perspective to see it as a challenge. Oh, I recognize the obstruction. Oh, he came home drunk and he had the audacity to slap me. How did it come to this? This is a big obstruction to the relationship and to my elevation. I have some serious choices to make here, and none of them are very nice. If you have a shred of dignity, you will think like this. A shred. If you're not a complete prostitute, you will think like this. You will think, whoa, wait, let me recapitulate. Let me go back. You know when it started? When he raised his voice at me for no reason whatsoever. That's when it should have been nipped in the bud. What did I do instead? I tried to placate. Please. Oh, don't be like this. I love you so much. Oh. Trying out the Disney princess script, because that's all you've been taught. No. That's when you should have laid down the rules, the boundaries, and the limitations. Say, if you ever raise your voice to me again in this way, in a way that is meant to harm and that is violent, there will be very, very unpleasant consequences for you. It doesn't matter how drunk that guy is. The energy that you throw out at that point should make that guy sober instantly. He should break out in a sweat. That's how much power you women have got, and you are fucking fools, every single one of you, to not use it. You're too afraid of the consequences. What's he gonna do? Every single one of my apprentices trains in jiu-jitsu in order to acquire the mood of the warrior so that no one can come and do any of these tricks on them. Right? Because after a certain point of martial arts training, I apologize, not martial arts training, we're not studying arts, self-defense, very different from martial arts, completely different. Martial arts is like a poodle, a show dog. Self-defense is like a rotti that's been trained to tear limb to limb apart. That's the difference. These people are training in jiu-jitsu, which is a stepping stone to get them to exude that aura of the warrior. Eventually, one day, after much cost to their laziness, much cost to their will to win, so that they can acquire this. And by the way, every single one of my women apprentices, they absolutely love it. They love it. I love it. Right? Once you recognize the obstruction, use it as a challenge. It's now become a challenge to you. You're in the arena now. What are you going to do about it? You're going to walk away like a little coward? Like a little girl, daddy will come and save me. Or mommy, I will run to mommy. Hey, single mom children. So-called woke. Single mom. No, you stand and fight. Stand and fight. I'm a pacifist. You're a pacifist, are you? Stand and fucking fight. Stand your ground. Don't give an inch. Stand your ground. You know how to do this. So today I feel I'm being a bit harsh or a bit very punched through, but it's needed because personal power is not just a nice theory for warriors. It's the way we live. And if we don't learn to apply this powerfully in our life, we waste away in fantasies and tomfoolery, right? No one's got the time for all this. So now it's a challenge. Treat it as a challenge. What are you going to do about it? That's the question. What am I going to do about it? As soon as you see that you're able to see that as a challenge, accept. The word accept. that as a challenge to you. A challenge to what to you? To your ego? No. It's an obstruction to your elevation. Just take it as that. This is an obstruction to my elevation. What am I going to do about it? This is forcing you to come up with an intent. It engages your intent. Okay, this is my intent from here on out. I'm not going to give in to this. I'm not going to do that. Suddenly what happens? Boundaries, limitations, and rules start to be engaged. And intent cannot work without those things. Rules, boundaries, limitations. Intent cannot, there's no intent without those things. Intent needs a channel, right? Now, we come to the third part, which is you engage stalking. From here on out, you have to functionalize that intent. You're going to just sit and just have nice thoughts about how to get out of that obstruction. No, you have to do something now. You have to take action. Therefore, you have, what do you call it? Stalking. Therefore, you have stalking. Now, you must stalk. Right? Now you must stalk. And stalking, as you know, as you can see, these things are getting increasingly more, you need more skills. Awareness, or rather you need more energy and skill. Awareness is one level of energy and skill. There's no action involved. You're being aware, you're being honest about it. Like, okay, this, if I just project it forward, it's a dead end. It's downhill from here on out. Hoping and wishing never solved anything anyway, so this is gonna go downhill. All right, it's a challenge. What am I gonna do about it? Now your intent is engaged. From here on out, all you've got left to do is to stalk. And the best way, let me give you an entry into stalking. Because stalking is a big skill set. It has many colors, it is very contextual. There is really nothing called stalking, but it's a convenient way for warriors to highlight a certain way to juice an experience, get the desired results out of it, usefulness out of it. And here's the little entry to stalking is stalk your own perspective about that situation. Start with that first. And you will really have to hunt, because you know what will be stopping you? The blindness that is created by your patterns. The blindness that is created by your patterns. I have witnessed it myself. I'm a master pattern hunter, and I don't mean from last week, the pattern. No, patterns live on for years. Those are the ones. I can stay hunting on one pattern for decades, if that's what it needs. I can track it over long, I have endless stamina in that regard. I can hunt and stalk and be patient, and eventually, boom, the moment comes, the cubic centimeter of chance is here, and when I grip, it cannot get away. It is impossible. I've trained myself. It is possible for you to train yourself. That depends on the strength of your intent. When you grip, there's no force that should be able to let you go, especially whatever you gripped. If I grip a pattern, it is as good as dead if I do not want it to live. If I want it to thrive, I don't grip. I encourage. I give water and sunshine and air. If I find a weed, it better not have been found by me, because it has no chance of survival. That is what we call change. So your greatest adversary about stalking yourself will be the blindness that is created in you by your own patterns. They're happily living in your blind spot. And we talked about this before as well in a recent video. So this is how you cultivate personal power. The real difficult part of it is that you have to apply it in everything. You have to apply it in everything. I suggest take one obstruction in your life, just a simple one, and project, ask certain questions. Is this going to go away by itself? If not, it's a challenge. You're on. What am I going to do about it? What is it here to teach me? It's a challenge either to gain knowledge or to practice intent and stalking and gain useful results, get more powerful, coming out the other end, whatever it is. The best way to initiate stalking, you will never guess. You'll never guess. No one, anywhere, no books, nothing will tell you about this one. Well, I'll tell you. The best way to initiate automatically, stalking will start happening. You will see, try it, is to take an affirmation relevant to that obstruction and be absolutely relentless, like a juggernaut with that affirmation. So for example, I am feeling a lot better right now as I am recovering from my body got like cold at one point due to a misdecision I made about the weather. As soon as I felt the moment, because it's possible to feel your body in each moment, where is it at? Where's the well-being at? The moment I started saying, I'm not going down this road. It's not going to happen. This obstruction is now pitted against my intention. And when something gets pitted against my intention, there's only one outcome. Either I die or I get my way. My way does not mean egotistical. My way means that the intention wins out. I accepted this way of life a long time ago. It's not for everyone, where you're ready to lay your life on the line for even the smallest things. It's not for everyone. It's really not for the faint-hearted. Everyone would like to be that kind of big balls hero, superhero type character, but it's not for everyone. You have to cultivate that, taking small things and winning, small things and winning. Each time that's your intention stamina grows, your intention muscles grow. So I said, fine. I said, you're going to hit a wall, Mr. Dis-ease. And that wall is my intention. And I initiated stalking straight away. I said, obstruction, that's a challenge. What are we going to do about it? Initiate stalking. How? Let's get an affirmation going. And I started immediately. I'm healthy and strong. That's my go-to affirmation. Every day I have that affirmation. Every day I celebrate that affirmation powerfully. And I started that loop in my head. Endless, relentless. I'm healthy and strong. I'm healthy. I feel healthy and strong. I'm already feeling better. I'm feeling better already. This is amazing. I feel healthy and strong. I feel strong. I feel healthy. I started that. It takes energy because something does not want you to create that vortex. It wants you to jump into its vortex where you go, I'm coming down with something. Why is life so difficult? Someone help me. I'm so alone. I'm lonely. She doesn't love me. He doesn't love me. What is this? But it's the same script. Everyone, doesn't matter whether in Japan or wherever they are, it's the same script. Do you see? But you come up with your script. You say, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I'm healthy and strong. I'm healthy and strong. And then I started functionalizing it. I usually take vitamin C, by the way, it's a pro tip. The official recommended dosage of vitamin C is for fools. You should be taking that recommended dosage anyway every day. Just take it. But when something happens that is an obstruction to your health, increase it by at least 4 or 5 times, if not more. And that's what I did. Boom, increase straight away. I did some other remedies that are very powerful that I know to unblock obstructions of health in the body, especially these so-called flu and virus, so-called things. And I am sitting here full of energy, talking to you, feeling better. I'm genuinely feeling better and better. How is it possible? It's because something crashed against my conscious intent. I had a choice. I made a choice. And I'll be damned if it will win. You kidding me? You think I'm a fool? No. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. Now, this is contextual. Remember, stalking is contextual. You can't just do this. It's not about being stubborn or obstinate. If if there is something really serious that's happened, yes, you can engage intent, but you have to go about it a different way sometimes, right? I can afford to say I'm healthy and strong whilst there's a powerful vortex wanting to take form, a powerful tornado wanting to form. And I'm like, you are not gonna form. Not here, not in my world. In my world, my intention reigns supreme. In this context, it will work. In another context, I might have to be a bit more fluid, a bit more giving. I might have to start with, there's a reason for this, I accept it. Start like that. You see? Don't be a machine. Oh, Anaam said so. You must be ready to fail, be ready to pay many prices, many costs, and then gain the elixir of experience to know what to do, when to do, how to do. It takes time. Be patient. It takes a lot of time to create the kind of quiet personal power, not showing off and expecting to shine so bright that when you walk down the street, people are falling on their knees and bowing to you. No, a quiet power. No one needs to know you even existed, but you mastered yourself and quietly faded away. You know what? That's a really well lived life. Trust me. Anything else is Hollywood brainwashing that you're fancying. It's fantasies. Live a powerful life, master yourself, fade away quietly. No one needs to know you were ever alive, okay? Stop with the idiotic nonsense. No one gets to be a hero or a villain. This is all for Hollywood junkies, brainwashed Netflix nonsense. Live your life, quietly go about your business, master yourself, master the perspectives that are useful to you, and fade away one day. that's well done in the idea of a warrior. You don't have to burn from the fire from within, man, in the desert. You don't have to do all that. No one burns from the fire from within. That's narrative license. It's actually a thing called narrative license. It's a thing. Authors use that. Oh, they became balls of light, and then they could be seen flying around the mountain, and then they were off. And you believe that? Wow. Wow. No wonder all you're good for is reading books and watching Netflix and Avengers, Thor. Nah, real life, sorry, doesn't work like that. Anyway, on that note, we shall move to the questions and answers. Walk in freedom. Let me know in the comments how this was for you. I shall see you next week. Come to the masterclasses. Go to the nagualzone.com. Sign up. Come to the masterclasses. That's where it all happens. This is just a video. The question and answers, the community, everything is happening over there. Okay? So I invite you to come and put your money where your mouth is. Don't be a freeloader. Don't be an entitled freeloader. Click, 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 and thinking you know everything by clicking 10 videos every day on YouTube. Don't be that person. I know you are that person, but don't be that person. Put your money where your mouth is. Plan ahead. No one's saying you have to do it, but consider how are you going to gain personal power by clicking on videos and listening to some Indian idiot talking nonsense. Really, think about it, right? So I'd rather you pay me and then watch the Indian idiot talk nonsense than not. On that note, I shall see you next week. Bye for now.